So now let's talk about presenting on a podcast. Maybe even you could show us the difference between a fake voice and the real voice and tell us why you prefer utilizing the real one.
Here's an example. When I would lead meetings and when they became remote and you had to avoid a lot of side conversation, you had to make sure you were very slow and articulate to make sure that people were hearing it with minimal amount of inflection so that it didn't get disturbed.
Is that what you're doing right now?
Yes, that's what I was doing.
Okay, because I hate it.
But if you can take the time and you can add some inflection and you can be a little bit more natural, it's way more engaging. And so I had to go from thinking I needed to make it very clear to making sure it was very engaging. And engaging is my natural personality. I just have fun, enjoy life, and forget about all the sticks up of your hind end. So yeah. I was very I was a project manager. I have never done my own things. I've always had teams do it all for me. And just thinking like I was going to do this all by myself. And you had gotten the software I needed, everything I needed was in place. And I'm like, I don't do my own stuff. I'm not doing this. I got to figure out a way to make the money for this a priority. Because initially I'm going, I don't have the money because I had just retired. I no longer have an income. And now how do I justify forking out money, whatever rate it is, every month? And it just was worth it. You know, this is me. This is my branding. And if I'm going to brand me, I am not going to be the slow and articulate person. I'm going to have fun. And I'm going to make sure you know I'm having fun too. That's the difference of my fake voice and my not fake voice.
I love it. I remember when we were at your house, just kind of like setting up your podcast and everything, and you were practicing. And you had like the more businessy, serious, matter of fact voice, and voice. You know, I guess lack of voice inflection would also be part of that. And you would be like having a good time with the whole family. You'd be like blah 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 blah. You know, joyful and excited, and you would even say that you're happy to do the podcast. And then you would go in and you'd be. I'm going to imitate you. It's going to be so bad, but you would be like this and hey, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Mom, what is happening? That's not who you are. And so it's like, hey, just show us who you are. And I would say it took 10-ish episodes for you to kind of get to that place where you were like, hey, I can just be me. I can be who I am. And that's okay. I can attract the right person that way.
You know, and the other thing I've had to give up on, and I'm not saying everybody that does a podcast have to do this, but perfection. You know what? If you screw up something, it's just the way it is. And I still do. I laugh at news anchors. I laughed at sports commentators that mess up and they say the wrong word. Like I've got an episode out there that says, and I'm still trying to prove that when I meant I'm still trying to disprove that, you know?
Yep.
And so, you know what? I'm not going to re-record it. It's just the way it is. And I'm not perfect. And I don't expect anybody else to be. But I hope that that listener out there is thankful that you told me to quit being fake.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope it wasn't rude when I said it.
You know what?
Tell me.
It's appropriate. You know, there's another thing is there's a way to give constructive criticism. It's not rude. the way you deliver it can always be kind and friendly. If the person takes it rude, that's their fault. And if you're condescending in the way, like if you were to say, Mom, you always use that professional voice, that would be condescending, where you're putting this always tag on it and you're being like, I'm better than you. But the second you do it in a kind way, or I don't want to say matter of fact, because people use that as I'm just being honest when they're really being rude and honest at the same time. So it's just kind of, where's that balance of being kind? And people are going to take things rude. People are going to take things not how you meant them. You don't have any power to change that.